Welcome to Holy Heart Nutrition, where we talk about healing your heart, mind, body, and soul with a focus on holistic nutrition and spiritual support. I'm your host, Susan Crusaris. Hey guys, we're back. We're talking this time about what is root cause nutrition. What is the idea behind being a nutritional therapy practitioner? I get this a lot. People are like, well, what's the difference? Aren't you a nutritionist? And really, it comes down to approach and legality. It comes down to semantics, unfortunately. While traditional dietetics and certified nutritionists are well versed and very knowledgeable in how the body works, vitamins, minerals, how the body assimilates these things, those things are very similar. We both know a lot about these things. The approach is what's different. So I'll just focus on my approach. As a nutritional therapy practitioner, I approach the individual as a bio individual. So I spend a lot more time with them, and we factor in a lot more things like lifestyle, stressors, familial habits. What are your sleeping habits? What symptoms are presenting? And we use that as a whole picture to demonstrate what is the body telling us? What can we do about it? What are things that are going to work for your body? We go into what has worked for you in the past, or what do you feel your body is telling you to do? Some people are a lot more in tune with their body. And so we're all about communicating and making those connections with your own body, because we believe that we have the innate ability to heal ourselves. When you give your body what it needs, God has designed them to be able to heal themselves. And it's a beautiful, not only theory, but it's a beautiful fact. And I've seen it in my body. I've seen it over and over in my clients' bodies as well. So treating symptoms alone is a lot like taking cups of water and dumping them out of a boat when you've got a big old hole at the bottom of your boat. It's just a fruitless exercise, and you're going to keep doing it. It's going to get worse over time, and that boat's going to sink. When you look at root cause nutrition, you want to ground them in holistic principles. We aim to repair the hole in the boat by nourishing the body and help it correct the foundational causes of illness, rather than just merely suppressing the signals that it's giving you. So we strive to give the body the tools it needs to be able to heal itself, because again, that's a core belief that we have, that it's designed to do that. Treating symptoms is never enough, just because you might get temporary relief, but you often get recurrence. And so symptom-based care often masks pain or fatigue with medication, only for the issue to progress and get worse over time. You might also find that you get into this whack-a-mole cycle. So you're suppressing one symptom, like acid reflux, without fixing the cause, which is stomach dysfunction. And this can lead to new, often worse symptoms, such as chronic GERD, problems with your esophagus, problems with your digestion south of the stomach. You may develop gallstones. You may develop pancreatitis. Blood sugar regulation is tightly wound up in that. There's all kinds of things that can happen just by one thing being off. Treating only the surface allows chronic inflammation, nutrient deficiencies, and or gut dysfunction to continue, which will damage your tissues over time. So chronic disease risk also becomes increased, because research indicates that reliance on symptom-based treatment can be associated with a higher risk of developing chronic diseases or experiencing premature death. No thanks. Root cause nutrition is a food as medicine approach, and it looks at the body as a whole, interconnected, very complex system, rather than a collection of isolated organs. And that was actually something that I found when I worked in pathology, is that the cardiologist or the heart doctor was arguing that they were the most important, while the pulmonologist or the lung doctor said, no, you can't live without air. Well, then, of course, the neurologist, the brain doctor, is going to say, well, I'm the most important because the brain, it's like every single one of them only knows their lane. They don't understand how everything connects together and how everything feeds into each other. The gut-brain connection, for crying out loud, is just now gaining traction. They've known about this for, well, at least functional medicine has known about this for over 20 years. Dr. Perlmutter wrote an amazing book called Brain. That was one of the initial books that really opened my eyes to the gut-brain connection, and how even symptoms of autism can be greatly improved by changing the diet and the nutrients and healing the gut. It's amazing how that affects your brain and brain function. So it's a paradigm shift that this whole body is an interconnected, very, very complex web. We can't just whack-a-mole each symptom and call it a day because we're just going to keep getting sicker and sicker. Holistic nutrition understands that issues such as chronic skin rashes, fatigue, digestive problems, maybe you've got cystic acne as a woman, or you have chronic acne as a teenager, often originate from a single shared root cause. Believe it or not. We also use personalization over generalization. As I said, we are a bio-individual approach because we understand that no two people have the same biochemistry. All right, we have different stress levels, we have different experiences, we have different diets, different cultures we're coming from. Root cause nutrition is highly individualized, and often we use functional lab testing such as food sensitivity. I like to use the GI map test. That's a gut microbiome analysis test. We use these to identify specific nutrient deficiencies. We also use the gut microbiome analysis to identify things like parasites. What kind of toxicity do we have in the gut? Do we have an overabundance of yeast? Do we have an overabundance of bad bacteria as opposed to good bacteria? Do we have C. diff in our gut that we've been chronically fighting for a long time? These are all things that we can see with PCR testing, which is very, very specific and accurate. So we see what is going on in your gut, not what is going on compared to this person. These are your results. And there's dozens of different markers that we use. We, of course, all of the inflammatory markers as well. We look at your calprotectin levels, which shows inflammation. We look at your IgA levels, which shows what your immunity looks like. Do you have low immunity? Is your immune system heightened? It really is an in-depth view into your gut to see what exactly is going on. Holistic practitioners treat the body like it's a garden. Our body is our terrain, especially your gut. We focus on nourishing the soil or the body's ecosystem so that the tools or the organ systems can thrive rather than just pulling weeds symptoms. We address key drivers. Instead of just managing illness, this approach aims to fix underlying factors such as chronic stress, environmental toxins, poor sleep, and inflammation. Our gut is treated as one of the foundations of health. Okay, so we address things like leaky gut, poor stomach function. Maybe you have low acid. I don't even like saying low acid. I would say non-optimal stomach acid and bacterial imbalances, something we call dysbiosis, that can often drive systemic inflammation. We also address nutrient deficiencies. So we use targeted nutrition protocols to replenish your necessary vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients that help the body repair and address its needs for cellular energy. We reduce chronic inflammation. So we shift away from processed pro-inflammatory foods toward nutrient-dense whole foods to heal rather than harm the body. It's not about, oh no, I can't eat my favorite foods anymore. We do this gradually and we come up with a plan according to what you are ready for, and we meet you where you're at. Dietary triggers can cause hormonal fluctuations. So we work to also balance hormones, such as managing cortisol and adrenaline from stress, blood sugar spikes. We also work to regulate insulin. Perhaps you're even down the road of being insulin resistant to pre-diabetic. All of those things can be reversed up to a point. So we work to at least educate you on the principles of how you can help regulate your own blood sugar. And when you're empowered with this knowledge, it's a wonderful feeling because now you're doing this from a position of power rather than a position of shame. We give you the information, why it works, how to do it, and come up with a plan that is specific to, as I said, what you're ready for at that time. So by focusing on root cause nutrition, clients can shift from a reactive state or waiting for symptoms to just appear to a proactive state of building long-term resilience and health. And that feels good. Treating symptoms is never enough, all right? Temporary relief does not mean that there will be no recurrence of other downstream issues. Symptom-based care often only masks pain or fatigue with medication, only for the issue to return, and many times even worse. Suppressing one symptom without fixing the cause can lead to new, often worse symptoms elsewhere in the body. I talk about this a lot with stomach acid. I could go on for hours about stomach acid and the need for it, especially today. Gallbladder, pancreatic dysfunction, microbiome imbalance, and the inability to absorb vitamins, nutrients. Also contributes to leaky gut, something that 9 out of 10 of us have. So we really work to improve these things, to reverse some of these things. Once we acidify the stomach again, things often start to pick up speed and you see an improvement. You have to remember, it took you years, if not decades, to get to the point where you're fed up. So give your body some time. That's why my most popular programs are 3 to 6 months, because that's when you can really start seeing a shift in your body's health. When we see the body as this amazing interconnected web, food becomes a form of information for us and not just a punishment or a treat. Every bite sends a biochemical message to your brain telling your body to either promote inflammation or anti-inflame, to create energy or to take it away. Root cause nutrition teaches you to choose foods that speak the language of healing. So instead of just chasing symptoms, you'll be creating an environment where symptoms simply don't need to exist. That's the essence of holistic healing. We transition from managing disease to cultivating wellness. It's not about perfection. It's about restoring, being aware, and making that connection between what you eat, how you live, and how your body responds. So where do we begin with this approach? It sounds really powerful, but doesn't it sound a little overwhelming? So the key is to start simple with what you can and what you're ready to do. And be intentional. Healing is not about restriction, it's about nourishing and caring for your body rather than punishing it. We can look at mindset, first steps, and habits. First, we look at your mindset and we try to move away from fixing things to rebuilding. Instead of chasing every symptom to eradicate it, you want to think about creating balance and building resilience so that your body doesn't have to shout at you through symptoms. You want to change your fear to simple awareness and curiosity. Food is not your enemy, it's data. Use it to your advantage. Each meal gives you insight into how your body responds. You can really understand this better by keeping a food and mood journal for 5 to 10 days. It's very eye-opening. You'll start to see patterns immediately regarding symptoms like your mood, energy levels, your pooping habits, and you will correlate it with what you ate and when you ate it. This gives incredible insight into how your body is actually expressing its needs and what is causing it to express those needs. You also want to change your mindset from perfection to progression. Healing happens with consistency. Slow and steady wins the race. You're not going to do it all overnight. Get rid of that all or nothing attitude. You want to make small adjustments over time. That's where the power is. That's where you'll see the change happen. Even small daily improvements always compound over time. What are some first steps? Start with awareness. Spend 1 week noticing patterns between what you eat and how you feel. Look at your energy, look at your digestion, i.e., pooping habits. Look at your sleep. How much sleep are you getting? Is it enough? Do you feel rested? Are you only sleeping a couple hours at a time? All of this has a lot to do with how you're going to be feeling overall. You can also use an app if you don't want to keep a food and mood journal. You want to support your digestion first. So before adding supplements or strict diets, you want to focus on just doing simple, basic things like sitting down when you eat, focusing on your food. Think about the food you're going to eat. This is why we used to pray before we ate our food. Saying grace before a meal used to be a very common practice. It's not just a nice thing to do. It truly helps prepare your brain to be able to consume these nutrients in a very healthy way. Digestion starts in your brain, and your brain will tell your mouth to start making saliva. When you smell the food, you're excited to eat it, you're in a rested state, you're in a happy state. That is perfect for digestion. If we are shoving a Subway sandwich in our mouth while we're running down the street or into the car, it's not an optimal way of eating. And so your brain is not going to give the message to your mouth. Your stomach's not going to get your message to start creating more stomach acid. Things are just going to sit. And it's not good. So you want to chew slowly, sit down when you're eating, take the time, eat in a relaxed state, optimize your stomach acid before you eat by having a little bit of lemon or apple cider vinegar in water, just a little bit. Put it in a shot glass. Just have that before you eat. You could also try digestive bitters. That can also optimize digestion. But you want to help your body get those messages that, okay, here's what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm eating. Identify triggers gently. So begin to connect which foods and stressors are repeatedly causing you discomfort. And then experiment with either reducing these things or replacing them rather than immediately overhauling everything. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody is going to be able to sustain that. I know for me, When I have gluten, it causes immediate fatigue, brain fog, irritability. I want a nap like yesterday. For me, it's an easy choice for me not to have gluten. To be honest, I don't even really miss it. I have things that fill the need, like quinoa and sweet potato, and a lot of other wonderful things that provide me fiber that I don't even miss the bread. I really don't. You want to build habits. So you might want to begin your day with a glass of warm water and a squeeze of lemon to support hydration and gentle liver stimulation. Then you want to eat a protein-rich breakfast within an hour of waking in order to keep your blood sugar balanced. Another habit you can build is to establish healthy sleep hygiene routine. So 2 hours before bed, you want to lower your lights, minimize screen time. If you do look at a screen, make sure you've got blue light blocking glasses on, and you want to sip on something warm like herbal tea, chamomile, lemon balm. If you find that your brain is stressed and it's hard for you to turn it off at night, you may consider a sleepy time tea that contains things like passion flower and valerian root. Those are tried and true herbs that they've used for centuries to be a natural sedative for your body. You can also support your circadian rhythm to help improve hormone balance and blood sugar regulation. So when you wake up in the morning, look outside, take in the sunshine. That exposure to the sun in the early morning is going to stimulate your brain to create its own melatonin that night. Stay with me. It's really awesome. We were meant to look outside as soon as we wake up. That's what we were meant to do. We weren't meant to go straight to a screen and doom and gloom. We weren't meant to do that, okay? So look at the sun when you first wake up. Get 15 minutes of that if you can. If not, watch the sun go down and then go to bed as soon as you can after that. Try to do those things. Again, you just do what you can do. You also want to, what I like to call, exercise neuroplasticity. One of my favorite ideas, and it's not even really a theory, it's just something that they're scratching the surface on. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to do hard things, to establish new routines, to change how it normally acts. It is amazing. It literally builds new paths. If you think of the brain with these little paths, it's almost like windy riverbeds in your brain. They've been worn that way because we do repetitive things and we build skills and memories and we learn through repetition. Use that same idea to establish new things. All we need to do is repeat it and do it differently. And when you do a hard thing, your brain will start to feel rewarded. So it's not all like, oh man, I got to do things I don't feel like doing. It's not that. It's that once you take that step, that uncomfortable step, your brain will actually respond in a really positive way. And I think that's so powerful because it really gives you hope to just keep going, keep doing the thing that you know you can't stand. And after a while, you're going to love doing it. It's like exercising. It's like eating good foods. After a while, you're not going to crave the crappy foods that you were eating before. You're going to actually crave the foods that are nourishing to your body. Such a powerful thing. And I love neuroplasticity. The whole idea of it is just amazing. I'm dumbing it down extremely. Neuroplasticity is a humongous topic, and it's something that I'm forever learning about and fascinated by. But the point is, you can start a new habit. You just keep it small and doable. One example is keeping a food and mood journal. Or you can just begin to journal your thoughts for the day in the morning or at night. You can add one or more glasses of water to your day. Maybe it would help if you bought yourself your favorite thermos and you fill that up with water and you make it a goal to finish that throughout the day. All of these things are very simple to do. It's about what are you ready to do and what can you do. Once you take that step, it's pretty awesome when you start to see the upside to taking it. Root cause nutrition aims to repair that hole in the boat. We want to go to the source. We're going to identify any dysfunction in our bodies. We're going to identify nutrient deficiencies, and we're going to address those things. We're going to look at foundations like digestion, blood sugar regulation, proper hydration, proper sleep, getting enough fatty acids, and balancing our minerals. We want all of these things running optimally, and inevitably good health will follow. So I hope that answered some of your questions about root cause nutrition. I would love to hear in the comments how you think root cause nutrition can help you. I'll see you next time.